So today we're going to talk about how to keep spirits or ghosts out of your house. What to do when they show up, how to cleanse the house, and how to keep them away. So, what do you do when you have spirits in the house? Now it's not always a bad thing to have spirits in the house. We're talking about ones that cause trouble. When you actually feel this icky, eerie foreboding around the house. Um, the first thing you want to do is cleanse the house. Now, everyone goes to uh, white sage first, and that's not the be all end all. Um, we can do that, and we'll get into that. But part of cleansing the house is actually cleaning your house. You want to make it a place where it is not a good habitat for darker spirits or entities to stay. So if there are any rooms that are particularly dark, it's the room that you don't feel like going in and spending all of your time in. Do something to change up that room. Open the curtains, let in the sunlight. Let the light actually shine into that room for several days, and you do need to clean the house. I mean, a clean space, a good smelling space is something that we would say a darker entity would not be attracted to. So you can then actually cleanse the house with some sort of smoke ritual. Many people have an aversion to a white sage for different spiritual reasons. I may not subscribe to that, but there's tons of bundles you can get. There's rosemary bundles. Rosemary is used a lot in Scottish witchcraft. There are lavender bundles. A lot of people use palo santo. Some people have problems with that too. These days, people have problems with everything. But there's cedar. There is blue sage, which is actually tumbleweed. A lot of people don't know that blue sage is also known as tumbleweed. There is what's called black sage, which is not really sage. It is mugwort bound up. So a lot of you witches will like that one. But the act of cleansing a house in smoke. My idea of the perfect scenario is to cleanse yourself first, which would be it could be a spiritual bath, it could be a ritual with the other people around you praying or chanting over you, whatever your religious path is. And then you make sure you are a clean vessel who is then cleansing the house. And if you do want to do smoke cleansing, what you do is if you're in a 2-story house, you start upstairs. You start at the room that's the farthest away from the main entrance. And when I say the main entrance, I mean the entrance that you use. Not all of us use our front door as our main entrance. So we use our back door. So to me, that would be the main entrance. And you start in the room farthest away, open the windows so the energy and the smoke can release. Get you a fire safe dish, light the bundle. And I found the best way to keep a bundle lit is to kind of break it open a little bit before you light it and go from room to room. Like I said, depending on your spiritual practice, uh, you're praying, you're chanting, you're reciting something, going from room to room, asking anything that doesn't belong there to leave. You go all around the room, up in the corners, in the closets. Some people go in the drawers. And then you go from room to room. Like I said, if you're upstairs, you go through all those rooms, then downstairs, start at the backside again, through all the rooms until you go out the door. So that is smoke cleansing. A lot of people use all sorts of crystals, and a lot of people tell you tourmaline is one to use. Someone's always mentioning amethyst. Seems like it's for everything, when really I would think that quartz crystals could be used for anything, which it can. A few lesser known ones for spiritual energy would be shungite and jet. A lot of people use black obsidian. It's a lot of the black stones that people use for negativity or to absorb negativity or to ward off something negative. So that's something else that can be done. When you're cleansing the house, one thing to do is salt to cleanse away whatever's in the house. You would take it and actually sprinkle it on the floors and then sweep it back up. Now, before this, you can prep your salt. It doesn't have to be just plain salt. And I don't mean rock salt, I mean plain old Morton's salt, table salt. Some people will mix in lavender. You can even grind lavender in a coffee grinder to make a lavender powder to mix in the salt. And another thing to do would be to prep it the day before and mix holy water in with the salt. Just a little bit. You're going to mix it all together and then lay it out and let it dry. And then use that in the different rooms. And you sweep it all up and then sweep it out the door. Other people will take salt and make a ring around the house. Now you want to do this, you just want to sprinkle it. You want to make a complete protective ring after you cleanse the inside. But if you use too much, it can actually kill your plants. So that's why you're sprinkling it. You're not making a strong line. Otherwise, like I said, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see a ring of dead grass. So that's another way to protect your space. Another one is to be vocal. You have to be vocal and tell the spirit to leave the house, and you have to do it, we'll say, with fervor. You can't just say, "Hey, can you leave the house?" It's got to be like, "This is my house. I'm asking you to leave. You are not wanted here. You are not welcome here." So you have to be almost firm about it. So if it's a spirit that's, let's say it's a spirit that's not really bothering you, you don't think it's a harmful one, you can just ignore them. I mean, sometimes they're just bound to a place, or they like a place and they're around, and you kind of sense them, but there's no problem with it. So if that's true, I tell people just leave them alone. So some of the signs you're dealing with a spirit would be, you actually feel it. I mean, like I said, some of your rooms may feel darker, and the energy's darker, and those are the ones you want to focus more on. Picking up odd smells, usually that is more signs of a negative spirit in the house. And of course, there is the old thing of actually having a clergy come out. And clergy doesn't have to mean Christian. Clergy can mean high priestess to come out and bless and cleanse the house. So odd smells are usually a foul smell is something that's you don't want there. Other times you may smell things like perfume or roses, and that can be just a signifier that there is a good spirit there. Strange sounds. Now, the first thing about strange sounds is you need to investigate and make sure it's not something natural. You could keep hearing this weird scraping when really the tree limbs near the house need to be trimmed back. It could be something in the walls. Check and see if you have mice. So you have to first count out all of these things that discount all of these things to make sure that's not what's going on, something completely natural. Electricity keeps cutting out. Often that is a sign that something is absorbing the energy, or the lights flicker a lot. Temperature drops. You begin to feel this cold. That can be a spirit. One time when Roy and I were living this was a long time ago, 15, 16, 17 years ago, at our other house, we were, let's say you are my television screen. We're sitting on the couch. Here's the television screen, and over there is the doorway to the bedroom, over on the side. And you're sitting on the couch, and you can see in the bedroom. And right around the corner from there was a hall light. It was a strange setup. You went into the bedroom through a walk-in closet to get into the bathroom. So there's the light coming from the closet into the bedroom, which we can see. And then we see a shadow passed across the light. And this house was full of spirits. We could sense them all the time, but there was nothing bad about them. We saw the shadow go across the light of and we both saw it at the same time, across the light of the bedroom. And then suddenly, a cold air crept its way up to the couch where we were sitting. And after that, all of the spirits in the house were gone. So we don't know what that was. It did not feel good, but also it didn't stick around, so we didn't have to do anything about that. But it was a very strange experience. It was just this cold rush, and then all of a sudden, as we noticed the next couple of days, there's no ghosts in here anymore. They all got the hell out. So they didn't like that either. Seeing something out of the corner of your eye. Sometimes a spirit, sometimes people say that's little fairies or brownies. But the main thing about getting spirits out of your house, if they're unwanted, is you have to be firm that you want them out. When you cleanse the house, smoke cleansing or real cleaning, you have to do it with conviction, and you're not just in there cleaning. You don't have your earbuds in. You are cleaning while reciting or praying that I am doing with the intention that it will cleanse this house and get these things out. Everything you're doing has a purpose. Every movement you make while cleaning has a purpose. It is a chant, it is an incantation. So you're not just cleaning, you're cleaning. When you're doing your smoke cleansing, you sense this smoke, which is a force that you're putting out. It's not just the smoke, it's you. You're using it as a catalyst to drive something out. And you have to believe that with every time you wave the sage or the burning lavender or incense or whatever you're doing. So conviction, courage of your conviction is one of the most important things. Don't be afraid to face it. And lastly, don't be afraid to reach out for help if what you're doing is not working. Maybe you have a local coven who altogether it would be more of a force, or some people may turn to a priest. They won't always come in with the acknowledgement that you have a spirit, but they will bless the house, usually if you're a part of the church, or many religions have a basic blessing on houses.